we're going to be working on today is we're going to start a documentary project on ancient Egypt. And what we're going to do is I'm going to have you guys collect information on ancient Egypt, and then I'm going to have you make a documentary about that. We're going to have you collect pictures, videos, you can draw your own sketches, you can make your own videos to put in there, you can record yourself, you can record skits you do, and then what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you overlay all of those pictures and videos and things that you find with your own voice, like a real documentary. You can do interviews if you can find someone who knows a lot about Egypt. You can use yourself as an expert. What we're going to do is we're going to have about a week in the library and start by finding your information. Then you can start getting your pictures and stuff. Then what we're going to use is we're going to use Windows Movie Maker. Or if you guys have a Mac, you're more than welcome to use the equivalent of whatever the Windows Movie Maker is for the Mac. And then, once you've got that done, you start putting all of your pictures in, you put in your own voice, you can record over it. Along with the documentary, I want you guys to make sure that you're citing all of the sources you use for your documentary. I want you to have a bibliography for me at the end of this too. Then, I've got just a couple of examples of what you can do. You can put in, say you want to do a picture, say you want to do something about the Nile, you can throw in a picture about the Nile and talk about the Nile. Say you want to talk about the Great Pyramids, you can throw in a picture about the Great Pyramids. If you've been to the pyramids, it might even have you in it. Probably you can talk about the pharaoh, you can talk about hieroglyphics, you can talk about anything you want, as long as it relates to ancient Egypt. And then you can also do things like a video of yourself, and I have an example of one of the ways that you can do a video of yourself. And as soon as I finish up that video, I'll get on to telling you what else we're going to be doing with the documentary. I apologize for the headphone, but the microphone on my computer seems to be pretty terrible, and no one can hear anything I say if I try and use that. But that's okay, because what I wanted to tell you guys is that during your documentary, what you can do is you can use yourself as an expert in your video, because you will have done all of the reading about ancient Egypt, so you can explain to the people. A lot of documentaries, they'll get all these different people, they'll talk to experts and different things. Well, in your documentary, that can be you. Or if you can find someone who knows a lot about Egypt, you can put them in your video by recording them just like this. You could even do like a back and forth interview with you both in there. Also, if you want, you can use props and stuff, things like the Quran. You could even do a little skit or something. You can use different props to play stuff out. You could even do a thing where, like, you show how people in Egypt pray, how different Muslim people pray. You could get a prayer mat, or at least something that kind of looks like a prayer mat, some prayer beads, which I actually have. Some prayer beads. Oh, let's see if I can reach them. One sec. You guys can all see me off over here. Get yourself some prayer beads. Then your Quran. And a prayer mat. And you are good to go. You could do show people that. You could use all sorts of different props. I mean, I've got plenty of props from Egypt around here. If you look over here, you got the Ankh of Life, and you've got the Eye of Horus. Up on my shelf, you can see another Quran, a couple of statues of some Egyptian gods, an obelisk, some artwork, different things. Chessboard. Chessboard's pretty cool, I always think. I like that chessboard. But anyway, stuff from Egypt. You can do all sorts of different things. You can do skits, you can interview yourself, you can talk into it. You could just make funny faces at it. I mean, you probably wouldn't get a great grade doing it, but I mean, it's possible. Alright. Well, that's enough of this video. Let's get back to explaining other stuff. Alright, so that was just an example of one of the ways that you could use video in your project. And the project needs to be at least 10 minutes long. It needs to include video, it needs to include pictures, it needs to have a title, and you have to have the bibliography. Other than that, if you have questions, just... Also, of course, you have to have the commentary throughout, and it has to be about ancient Egypt. Other than that, you have a lot of freedom. If you have other questions, just let me know, and I would be happy to help you. Alright, I hope you guys enjoy this project.